Hello, hello, hello. It's April. Um, Hopefully everybody enjoyed their wonderful Easter. Hopefully we ate all kinds of cheesecake, but it's time for another edition of the Big Deep Podcast. Before I bring in Kelly to talk some Arizona Cardinals, please subscribe, like, and share the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page where you can see all my videos I upload to YouTube. I'm hopeful of getting a couple of exciting videos to people in my area, so please look out for that, and also check out the Big Deep Podcast on Spotify and Apple. Well, we are only 10 days away from the National Football League draft, and joining us from one of my favorite places, Arizona, is my girl, KellyInPhoenix. Kelly, are we the only two areas in the country that didn't see snow over Easter?
It sure feels like that, Dylan. I mean, the tweets coming in, the photos. I was out golfing and somebody's sending me a photo saying their golf league was canceled because of snow. So, yeah, it's been a wild weather day.
I checked out the weather in full Wrigley Field tonight for the Rays Cubs game. It's like 39 with like a wind chill in the upper 20s. Yeah,
Wow,
yeah. Would you rather be in like 5 layers or in short sleeves? I'll take this weather.
definitely, for sure.
So, do you remember? You might know this show, but do you remember the show Where in the World is Carmen San Diego?
I do, yeah. And more so the computer game was my era.
Well, what in the world is happening with your quarterback Kyler Murray? Because I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I think the Arizona Cardinals should sign him, but doesn't look like any deals happened to me. I mean, can you explain what the heck's happening?
From what I understand, that he's wanting to get that bag. Essentially, everybody is asking for higher contracts, and those quarterbacks are getting outrageous contracts. But Kyler needs to remember he's still young and he has, proven himself. I won't say he hasn't proven himself. He has done well for the team. It's not that he hasn't earned it, but I don't see how a quarterback at his tenure can be asking for the same rate of a quarterback that's been to like multiple Super Bowls, multiple playoffs, etc. Give it another year or two, Kyler, to ask for that big, big contract. But I feel like that's exactly what's happening is he just doesn't feel that he's being paid his worth. And that's unfortunate.
Well, I mean, if you look at what Kyler's done his first 2 years, I think Kyler's been a fine selection at the number one
Mhm.
pick. But I think Kyler's biggest problem is not with himself, but with the team, because we've seen Arizona start off well. I mean, it seemed like
Mhm.
the Cardinals never lost a road game, and then all of a sudden Arizona just eh,
Collapse.
fell off the
But
cliff.
also, he was injured during a lot of that time period. So there's that to take into consideration as well. And our starting tight end for the year was injured right at the start of the year. There's been a lot of adjustment this year. I feel like there was also some strife with, um, players wanting to be traded to go to other um, places like we've seen Kirk and Chase Edmond. So, yeah, it was a turbulent year for sure. And I feel like he should just, come to terms with the team. The team wants him. The Cardinals front office, I should say, even they want him there. So I
Here
hope
are
they
two,
work it out.
here are two stats that would tell me how Kyler is evolving as a passer. Kyler's completion percentage went from 64.4% as a rookie 67.2 in 2020, 69.2 in 2021. And
Mhm.
Carlos' passer rating has increased 13 points in his 3 NFL seasons.
So he's improving for sure. We just need to have all the pieces in place. I feel like Rondale Moore could have a really great year this year. I felt like that last season, but he just wasn't utilized in the way that I had hoped. So here's for hoping year two. And I believe, Williams will be back at tight. Is that it? Yeah, Williams at tight end. So that should be good.
Don't
And then
forget,
we have Ertz.
don't forget you have Zach Ertz for the whole year now.
Yes. And he was a marvelous fit for the Cardinals. Wow. Talk about like, I don't want to say a Cinderella story, but Zach Ertz was fading away. He was fading away. And now he has this new life in him. And not only is he a great fit for the Cardinals team and playing well, he's a fit for the Phoenix community as well, and has already established himself as a charitable giver and just a real community member. So it's great.
I mean, for a while, I thought Zach Ertz was the second best football player in his family.
You're silly.
No, I watched U.S. Women's National Team. I've watched Julie Ertz for a long time.
Yeah. And you know what's so funny is the number of football players married to like soccer players for one, which is just so interesting to me. But I guess they meet in college and stuff like that too.
But to be honest, I look at Arizona and wonder, could Cliff Kingsbury as a coach be the blame? Because yeah, Cliff was the guy who wanted Kyler in 2019, but we've seen how coaches evolve. I mean, Bill Belichick's teams always get better in November and December. Andy Reid's teams develop. Sean Payton's teams got better throughout the season. But yet
Yeah,
we've seen the Arizona Cardinals just fall like pancakes. Could Cliff Kingsbury be the blame for some of Arizona's second half struggles?
for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that he needs to share in that blame. He's not a seasoned coach. He's young also. That's not an excuse though. If you're going to take the role, it's a big investment for the team and the team's owners when they're looking for that head coach and they think he's their guy. Just like when a team looks for their quarterback, their franchise quarterback, they want a head coach that's going to be there for the long haul. And I don't know if Cliff can do that or not.
Yeah, I mean, is Cliff a good coach? Yes, I mean, I like his play calling, but is he a leader of men? I don't know if
Right.
he is.
I don't think that they respect him. And I'm just totally speculating on this next thing I'm gonna say. Total speculation, but Cliff Kingsbury is the perfect example of rich, white, uh, GQ model, Scottsdale, Arizona person. And people in Arizona, I don't know, they kind of bag on him. They're bros, right? It's the bros. And I feel like the team looks at him like he stepped right out of the club. And that's how I would feel for sure. So I'm speculating, but it's like he doesn't fit or doesn't even want to fit. He doesn't care that lives this very lavish and public lifestyle.
Yeah, especially when he's the college guys, because we've seen college guys. I mean, trust me, I'll admit, Urban Meyer may have been the worst NFL coach we've ever seen.
Mhm.
Idiot Urban and Bobby Petrino. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I mean, sometimes when you've got that college persona, you're not always well liked in the locker room.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, you don't see other head coaches um kind of what their lifestyle is like outside the field, but Cliff Kingsbury has been, featured. His home has been featured. He's just like out there, and he should be just coaching and molding his team. That's my feeling. I'm sorry, Cliff, if you ever hear this. I just think you have some growing up to do,
Let's just
some
say this.
leadership.
Let's just say this. You and Cliff Kingsbury will not be going out for margaritas anytime soon.
Probably not. Probably not. I mean, maybe if he invited me and he wants to prove that he's not bougie.
So ultimately, I mean, we've seen a bunch of quarterbacks get paid. Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Derek Carr,
Mhm.
Matthew Stafford, all will get big fat contracts. Would you give Kyler Murray one of those big fat contracts?
No, not this year. I would increase his pay. I would find something negotiable. Maybe they can do a bonus. I don't know exactly how all of these structures work, but maybe his yearly salary is more in line with a player of his qualifications. He's a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I think he deserves to make money, but there has to be some middle ground. So maybe that contract for optics isn't as big as those others, but he gets a signing bonus or, something along those lines. What are they? An incentive, maybe? You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Uh, I think I would give Kyler Murray the extension. I mean, be honest, he's the face of the franchise. We've seen so many quarterbacks get big contracts. I mean, Deshaun Watson got a 230 million from Cleveland. He didn't play at all last year.
Right.
And be honest, the way Kyler plays, he's been banged up throughout a lot of his NFL career, dealt with a lot of injuries. If I'm Kyle, I'm looking to hit it big right now because I'm wondering if I'm going to get that second big contract in 3 or 4 years when I'm 28, 29, 30 years old
True.
because yes, Aaron Rodgers got 150 some odd million at age 39. We've seen some of these guys. Matthew Stafford got a whole bunch of money at age 34. Kyler Murray's got time. And I feel like Arizona's got to buy into Kyler Murray, make him the leader, have Kyler make decisions because I think the Arizona Cardinals have got a chance to
Yeah.
have this be a long run instead of just make the playoffs once in a blue moon.
That's true. I mean, I feel like the Ravens are going through the same thing with Lamar Jackson, and these
I'm
are,
glad you mentioned Baltimore because you don't want to be in the same situation with Lamar this time as the Ravens face with Lamar because Baltimore didn't pay Lamar last year, and now the Ravens don't know what to do with him. The Browns didn't know what to do with Baker Mayfield before the Deshaun Watson trade. And
Mhm.
now, do you wait and give Lamar the big deal, or maybe wait and see if he's healthy because you've always got the franchise tag
Yeah.
and can sign a big deal next year when hopefully the salary cap with all these new television contracts balloons and these quarterback contracts get even crazier.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like it could be a situation where maybe the Cardinals are waiting to see what happens with Lamar and the Ravens, because then they could use that as leverage. Um, and as long as it's along the same lines that they're thinking, I have no idea. The speculation again, but it would make sense because I feel like they are similar caliber quarterbacks. Lamar with the edge, I would say, But that could be a very possible thing too, is they're waiting it out to see what happens.
Yeah,
Did you see that on Instagram? The Instagram story that Kyler posted, the New York Giants stadium logo.
yeah, because he wants to play in that dump instead of Glendale.
I have no idea. Our stadium's amazing.
Yeah, you actually play on grass instead of whatever turf that is when everybody gets hurt there
Mm-hmm.
and medline. So, one thing that would help the Arizona Cardinals is the NFL draft. And I'm not sure you watch college football the same way I
Mm-hmm.
do, but to be honest, I look at Arizona. I think there are a couple positions you need. I'm happy you mentioned Rondell Moore because I look at the offense. Yeah, you've got DeAndre Hopkins, but he dealt with all kinds of injuries last year. I really like Rondell Moore, but you know, who was a big player and someone I really think the Arizona Cardinals should have gotten more involved last year was Christian Kirk. Well, guess
Mm-hmm.
what? He's not wearing red anymore.
Right.
He, as terms of overpaid, I think my Jaguars might have overpaid for Kirk
I think so too.
a little bit, but I really think the Cardinals need a wide receiver, and they're all wide receivers galore in every draft. Seemingly, there are 7 or 8 guys making rookies making impacts every Sunday. I mean, we all remember what Justin Jefferson did 2 years ago and Jamal Chase did last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who would you like to? What wide receiver would you like to see in a red
Oh
rookie
my
wide receiver?
goodness. I just did a draft this morning too. But I was in the 11th spot. So gosh, it feels like everybody's talking about running backs right now. So let me think about a wide receiver. Who would you think? I'm going to pull up my draft from today and then tell me who you think.
Uh, I like this. You put it on me, but what position was it? Because if it's wide receiver, is it a
Wide
wide?
receiver.
Okay, I think it's. Ooh, was he a Big Ten wide receiver or was it an SEC guy?
Wide receiver. Let's see. Here we are, just sitting here looking up things now.
Tell me, where did he go to college? Actually, where did he go to college?
Rondale?
No, the guy who
Oh,
went to the 23rd pick.
oh, that's where I'm looking. We didn't do that many picks.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, I mean, in a storybook land, Drake London would be great.
Oh,
But
I do like Drake London from Southern Cal. I mean,
mhm,
Drake's not the fastest guy, but I think Drake London can be tough that tough catch guy. I mean, he's got a lot of Mike Evans in me, great in the red zone, but I feel like you've already got one of those guys in DeAndre Hopkins. So if I'm Arizona, I'm looking at getting one of these vertical guys. I'm looking at trying to get somebody who will stretch the field. So I think a guy like Chris Olave from Ohio State, Dotson from Penn State,
I like Dachshund too.
and
Hmm.
he gives you a little bit in the return game. I really like Dotson. Give you a little juke. Plus, you've got DeAndre Hopkins is the big guy. Brandon
Right.
Moore can give you the speed, and I think Dotson can give you a little bit of speed and a little bit of somebody in the slot.
That makes sense. That really does make sense. From camp last year, what I saw with Rondale Moore was they had a lot of plays where he would run just right in the center of the field, and they weren't even long passes, maybe like 10-yard pass, but because he's so agile, he was able to extend that out. So, a 5 or 10 yard pass becomes 20 or 30 yards in his hands, but he just hasn't, gotten a chance to spread his wings yet, I don't think.
And I know the guy a lot of people say the Cardinals should take is Treylon Burks, the kid from Arkansas. He's big,
Yeah.
big. And yeah, I don't care about his 40-yard dash time. Cooper Cup went 4.62 40-yard dash, and nobody could stop him in the end. Nobody could stop him last year. You found out because you played him. You played him 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Burks would be interesting, but could the Packers pick a 22? Could that be a spot for him? I mean, why does somebody's going to be a top 10? Somebody's going to be a high pick, and somebody's going to drop. It happened.
Yeah.
And I think wide receiver is a spot where you could see a lot of action.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just sitting here scrolling, thinking there's a lot going on. And I'm wondering if we need more O-line.
You could always use more.
Everybody needs more O-line.
I mean, be honest. I wish the Jaguars would take an offensive lineman in one, but I think we take Hutchinson. But that's just me. I mean, especially with Kyler Murray not being the biggest guy, a lineman makes some sense, especially because wide receivers. You could get a wide receiver 90% as good in the second round.
Yeah.
But you know what other position the Cardinals need, and I think desperately need, especially in the division you're in? Corner.
Yeah. I could see that too. I feel like there are a lot of holes in the team. There's a lot of stars. There's a lot of the right stuff, but you're pointing out things that are definitely missing and need to be filled, whether it's through trade or rookie picks.
And here's an interesting name. I know Florida went through an embarrassing season, fired Dan Mullen, but I think Kaiir Elam, the cornerback from Florida, could be the next great Gator defensive back. There aren't a lot of great cornerbacks in this draft, particularly after the top 10, 15 picks. I think Elam's got a chance to be a day one starter. We all remember what Derek Stingley did at LSU, but I feel like A, is going to be gone, and B, his injury risk might scare some teams.
Mm-hmm.
I think Arizona's got to get itself a cornerback, because you can't defend against Cooper Kupp, Deebo Samuel, and DK Metcalf with scrub corners. Otherwise, you will lose.
You're right. You are right. 100%.
And another area the Cardinals could address, defend edge rusher, because Chandler Jones, who was such an instrumental part of the Arizona pass rush, is now in Las Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, that was a big hit for us too, but he wanted to leave last year. So I think trying to keep him another year would have been a mistake.
Hey, you know what? It's not like he went to a bad team. I mean, he went from the toughest division in football last year to the toughest division in football this year.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
His day job will be sacking Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and Justin Herbert.
I hope so.
I think your Cardinals play the Raiders this year, because the AFC West plays the NFC West. I don't know if you go to Legion or the Raiders come to Glendale.
I'm not sure, but I've looked into getting some tickets for the Raiders games, and they are so expensive. Like a normal person cannot afford to go to a Raiders game right now. And that's unfortunate, because I go to Vegas every couple of months and would love to see a game there, but it's out of reach at the moment.
Mm, yeah. How
But I
far?
am going to the draft.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm going to the draft, and I've got my media credentials, and I'm really excited to share some coverage from the draft with everyone.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to read your to hear your draft coverage. Well, usually I'm the one asking trivia questions, but tonight Kelly's going to ask me the said trivia question.
Yes. And this one's it's hard, but I'm sure if you paid attention to news and things like that, have heard of this. I just got a new tattoo, some new ink. There was a Cardinals rookie. He joined the Cardinals in 2013 as a tight end, and he got the Cardinals logo tattooed on him before he even made the roster. Do you know who was so confident that they were going to make the team as their tight end?
I've got a question. Is he still on the team?
Yes.
Oh, I think I know. I think I know. Max Williams.
Not Max Williams. Let me
Oh,
make sure he's still on the team. Oh, shoot, I'm lying. He's not still on the team. He went to the Panthers the very next year.
oh,
It's only random because it's a rookie question and I wanted to get a rookie question in. But I'm going to tell you his name. It's DC Jefferson. And I just thought he disappeared off the map. But getting a tattoo before you even make a team is bold. That is bold. Would you do that?
I might have if I were with Trevor Lawrence last year, knowing the Jaguars were going to take me.
That's true. I mean, you just have to put it out there in the universe, and maybe getting the tattoo was like a billboard for the universe.
Oh gosh.
This
And
was
then
really fun, Dylan.
thanks for hopping on, Kelly. We wish you calling us well on draft night and safe travels to Las Vegas. Vegas. I've got a question.
Yeah,
Red or black?
black.
By the
You want
way,
me to put a bet down for you?
no. By the way, you can catch Kelly coming up in just a little bit. She
Yep.
is on with she's giving you some golf knowledge for this weekend Zurich Classic in Louisiana. Who you like this weekend?
I honestly am still on the fence. And I asked the guys if we could move the show to Tuesdays. And they were like, maybe, but not tonight because it's too short notice. So I need to get on it and settle in on my DFS picks.
I've got one for you. I've got one
Okay.
for you. Sam Burns and Billy Holcher.
Sam Burns, Sam Burns burned me 2 weeks ago, but
He burned
he's
me.
he's doing well. He is doing well.
And I feel like,
Um,
and this course favor, and I feel like this course is going to be more of a Sam Burns course, and Billy Horcher does well in these team events. So I would look at those guys. Those guys are going to be very chalky, though.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna hop in. I have about 40 minutes to figure out what I'm gonna say.
Well, good luck, and good luck. And what's your drive? What's your favorite golf club?
My favorite golf club is my 5-iron.
Well, bring your 5-iron and hopefully you stick it just like Jordan Spieth did yesterday
Yes, get that approach shot.
and make the putt.
I hope so. That'll be the day. Hole
Thanks
out.
for, thanks for hopping on, Kelly.
Thank you. I look forward to being on again.